Hey everybody, Mike again, and today I am going to show you an extremely powerful API call you can make using Data for SEO, using their Autocomplete API, and I will show you how to set it up using my Google ABC method to create content, which is a powerful method for creating content. I will show you how to set up the sheet, the scenario, and I'll show you what the actual API costs are going to cost you. So you're probably wondering, what is the ABC method for content? So this is my powerful method for creating content on for anything. If you need to create content or you need ideas for content, the Google ABC method is probably the best you could do. Now, you are going to want to set up an incognito window, which you can get by clicking up here, and you can click new incognito window, because you don't want it to be under your logged in Google name because your search results will vary. So let's just go to Google and then go to Google. So see, I'm not signed in. This is, it's none of that stuff. But once again, I'm going to do my digital camera method. So if I do what digital cameras are, and then what we do is just add an A, and then we get content, B, C, D, F. You get the hint, right? But the thing is like, now I could sit here and I can copy all these onto a spreadsheet, or I can screenshot this and then go here. And then once again, I mean, this is also good for finding other content, because like you can see Canon comes up a lot because most people search for Canon stuff. But I could also change this then to what Canon cameras are. And then once again, A, B, B, C. So, I mean, this can be used for any niche. I mean, you can change this to anything you want, relationships, money, finance, crypto, whatever the heck you want to search. But I mean, these are really great. But the problem is, now I got to copy all these onto a spreadsheet or screenshot this. And that's time consuming. So what I found was using Data for SEO's Google Autocomplete API, which is this right here. And you want to make sure you're using the live version, because they do have a method where you can do a task, but then you have to set up API calls and webhooks and all that gibberish. And what this basically does, it searches based on your keyword, and then it auto completes the rest, which was all this stuff here. All this is autocomplete, and all of this is relevant to right now. This is what people are searching for right now. This is not old data. This is, this is awesome. And so what we need to do is set up this API call. And also, I'm going to explain to you how to use this cursor pointer and this client, because this makes it even more powerful. Now, another thing I do want to mention is that when you log into your homepage on Data for SEO, there is an AI chatbot right here. This thing is extremely powerful. Okay. Like, I was asking it how to use this API endpoint. I said, how do I use this? So it gave me that. I asked it about, what is the client? What is the cursor pointer all about? Because like I said, the cursor pointer thing is extremely powerful. Because at first I was like looking at this, like, what is this? But like cursor pointer at 0 means it just basically searches that word. The cursor pointer at 16, it goes the first 16 characters and then auto completes the rest. So of course I had the AI bot tell me, what does that actually mean? And like you can see here, like if cursor pointer was at 5, this places the cursor after best, which means you won't get laptops and students. It'll just search best and give you autocomplete for best. How to cook pasta. You put the cursor pointer at 16. This places the cursor at the end of the keyword, allowing you to see suggestions. And of course, it added I asked it how to use mine. So this would be 21, which places the cursor after the A and then completing the phrase starting from that point. And you don't want to use something like 8 where it's learn to play guitar, because then it's just going to search learn to. So like if we do the how to cook pasta, so if we just did how to cook pasta, we get in the microwave and the Instant Pot. So if you do this API call, through this using search cursor pointer of 16, it will pull all of this for me, in the microwave. So if you're doing a pasta blog, there's some good content for you. So let's go ahead and look at the way I set up the Google Sheet. So the Google Sheet here, we have our keywords, the language, the location. I like to have status. And so for the cursor pointer part of this, all I did was use a simple function. It's equals and then capital LEN. And then you put the text you want. So equals LEN A7. And then what it does is it equals how many characters are in this box. So for example, if I just put what, that should be 4. And as you can see, it says 4. But now if I do what and a space, that's 5. If I do what is, that's 7. If I do what is space, that is 8. So you see how these are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's basically taking all those characters. And then, like I said, the way I want to search is first I want what digital cameras are, but then I want A, B, C, and you can keep going down the list. Now, the next thing I added here was this client. So if you open this, you can see all these clients. So if we go to the API docs again, you can search based on many different factors. And once again, I asked the API to explain it to me because I'm not the brightest person sometimes. So when you use Chrome, it simulates autocomplete suggestions as they would appear to users searching directly in Chrome. They also have address bar in Chrome. So if you're in your window here, some people search up here, like how to cook pasta. But see, it's not giving me any autocompletes because I'm in incognito. But then you can also look up Safari autocomplete. Oh, hello. You can look up Firefox. Why does it keep doing that? YouTube, which can be very powerful for YouTube. It also has images and products. So if we just click on one of these and we go to images, there's also an autocomplete in this. And look at it's actually different. These are different results. And also when you're in the shopping, these are different results. So all I did was create a spreadsheet. Where did it go? And then I just added these to the client. So if you want to create drop downs, you just want to highlight the area you want the drop downs to be in and go insert drop down box. And then you can just add all your options right here. You can just keep adding more and more and more. And if you want it to be blank, obviously leave it blank. So when it comes to this bad boy, our scenario, so basically all 3 of these rows are exactly the same. There's only one difference is this is no options. This has just the cursor pointer, and this has the cursor pointer and the client. And so my filters are very basic. It's cursor pointer does not exist. Client does not exist. So if you didn't want to use the cursor pointer and you wanted to use this one, like just say we want this, you can delete the cursor pointer and leave that blank. And then it wouldn't look for that value. And then the next option, I have cursor pointer exist, but client is blank. And then the last one is both cursor pointer and client exist. So once again, if we look at this, so like this one here, the cursor pointer exists, client doesn't. And on these ones, we have cursor pointer exist and the client exists. And then basically we're going to set up our API call here. Now, once again, you just want to go to the documents and you want to pull this. This is your your link. And once again, make sure it's the live link. You don't want to use tasks because then we'll have to create webhooks and shenanigans. And it's obviously a post method. So we have the URL, we select post. You don't need any headers, queries. Your body type will be raw. And you want to do JSON. And then once again, to get this data, I just got it right from the API. It's this right here. Or you can ask the AI assistant, how do I make this call? And see, it tells you right here. Here's how you do it. And then obviously here's how I get the one that includes cursor, pointer, and client, which if we go to that one, you will see cursor, pointer, and client. Now, the other thing you will need to do is down here, you need to go to advanced options and you'll need to add your username and password. I'm not going to show you mine. But then, like I said, we just set this up. So it's, you select keyword, location, language, and then cursor pointer, which obviously gives us a number. And then on this one, all I did was add the client to see the client. Well, the first one's blank that it pulled, so there's no client name, but you just want to add that in there. You want to make sure you're parsing the response. And then all we're going to iterate is the results. So when you set up the iterator, you go here to tasks, results, and then down here to items. And this is the data you want. So you just want to click on the array right here that says items, and that's what this is. And then to create our file that we're going to send as an API call, you select your aggregator. Your source module will always be the iterator. Well, you're going to do advanced options. You want a separator is other. You want to make sure it's a comma, no white space in there. And then to set up our actual spreadsheet, you can see I have pending, suggestions, empty string, and keyword. Well, what the heck is that? Well, my second spreadsheet here, I have status, keyword, client, and seed keyword. Because when it gives me this new keyword, I want to know where that keyword came from. So it's going to pull this data here. So the first one that's going to run is going to be what digital cameras are. And I want that to show up here. So I know that's where it came from. And if I'm using a client, I want to know what client I used. Now on this second one here, where it's just the cursor pointer, no client, I want pending just to be hard coded. The suggestion is the actual keyword. That's what they call it on this one. So here's the suggestion. And then I need the empty string because I need to add the keyword to the next row or the next cell. So I need that to be blank. So you have to use this empty string in here because you can't just do this and make. You actually have to use the empty string text. And then of course I want the original keyword from the Google Sheet. And then we are going to make an API call to bulk upload this. So you're just going to do spreadsheets. And then our spreadsheet ID luckily is right here. So we don't have to actually pull it. You're going to do /value/, and then in between these single quotes, you need to put your sheet name, which I have is autocomplete. So then it just puts an autocomplete. You need to do an exclamation point, and then A:/Z:append. This is a post method. Your first header is going to be content type application JSON, and your query string is going to have to be written just like this. So it's value input option with a capital I and a capital O. It has to be written just like that. And then our values are going to be all capitals, user _ entered. Make sure you don't forget that underscore, no other space or anything. And then for our body, we're going to do a curly brace, values closed with quotations, semicolon, an open bracket, and then the text from the aggregator. And then we close that off with a bracket and then a curly brace. Now, it doesn't have to look like this. You don't have to have any spaces in here. We could just make it look like this. But I like it to look nice. So that's why I usually have it set the way I do. Like that. But yeah, you just want it to look like that. And of course, the last module in the row here is just updating the row number and updating the status to done using the current stamp of now, because that gives me the current time and day. I don't like to use timestamp because it's the number of seconds come back from 1970, from midnight 1970. So I don't care about that. I want today's date. So that way, when I'm looking at my spreadsheet, I can see that I pulled those on these dates. So let me go ahead and give you a test run here. So the first one it's going to pull is what cameras are using the cursor pointer, and I don't have a client set up. And I'm just going to keep running this just to show you the difference between all these. So if we just save and we run, you can see it went right to cursor pointer because I have that one selected. It does take a few seconds for this to run properly. And it's being really slow today. You were working fine a minute ago. And so there we go. There's my first keywords. And also I want to mention doing the API call, you can see I got 15 keywords. This only cost me 6 automations, or operations. I keep saying automations. But if you were to run this without the API call, this would add another 15 operations. So making the API call saves you a lot of time and money. And then, like I said, here we go. So I got pending. I like to have these pendings. Don't ask why. But here's our keywords. And then obviously I didn't use a client. And here's what I used as my seed keyword. Now to show you how powerful this is. So if we go back to my Google here in my incognito window, so what digital cameras are, let's go to Google. I don't know why I keep doing that. So what digital cameras are. Now I want to show you that how accurate this is. So the first result, what digital cameras are good? On my spreadsheet, what digital cameras are good? What digital cameras are better than the iPhone? What digital cameras are best? Trending, full frame, mirrorless, weather sealed. They're all here. Because this is what people are searching for, and it actually pulls the right results. So now I don't have to sit here and try to copy paste these. There they are right there. I mean, that's how amazing this is. And I mean, like I said, it's current to whatever today's date is. You know, these aren't archived results. These are what people are actually searching for. So if I just keep running this, I'm just going to keep running it because I want to show you guys. So this one, so we did A, B, let's do C, and then I'm going to do these 3, but I'm going to use different clients. Now this is obviously going to give me duplicates, but I just want to show you guys what it looks like. So we'll run it again. It should go down here now. Yep, now we're down here because we're adding client. Let's go ahead and run it again. So now it's doing the Chrome Omni, and then the next one's going to be YouTube. So let's go ahead and run that. So that's all done. So now you can see we ran all of these, and now I have a spreadsheet with a whole lot of duplicates on here, obviously. But you can see now I have this set up where, you know, here's the original keyword, and then I have A. And so it's, you know, like I said, we have a lot of keywords in here. Let me just delete that. You know, these were the ones for B, these were the ones for C, you know, but then I had it just do Chrome, and you're going to notice these are almost all the same. Like these are the same as these. So I haven't found powerful reasons for these yet. Maybe somebody else would. But I feel the YouTube ones would be good, especially for you YouTubers, you know, because this is what people are actually searching for in YouTube. And you probably noticed that they're almost the same as these. But, you know, if you were specifically looking for YouTube, that's what I would do. Now, if you wanted to see how I set up that filter to see all the duplicates, because like I said, most of these are duplicates, we'll just add a rule, you want to highlight the entire row. Let me start over. So click on the B because this is where we want to search, add a rule, and then I need a custom formula, which I know is here. So I'm just going to copy it. And we want to make sure you're selecting the entire range. That's why you just click the B at the top so it selects the entire range. And we're going to go to custom formula. And this is our formula, but we need it to be row B because we're in row B. And just hit done. So as you can see, there's a lot of duplicates in here, but we searched a lot of the same stuff. I mean, if we took out all this Chrome and YouTube stuff, I'm sure those duplicates would go way down. Delete those. So we still have a lot of duplicates. But that's because, you know, we're searching a certain way. So, I mean, that's just expected. But, you know, once again, if we search oops. So if I search this in my incognito window. So once again, what digital cameras are the best? Which Canon cameras are ASPC? Which Canon cameras are the best? I mean, you know, once again, it's all the correct actual data, which is just absolutely amazing. So that's how we create our spreadsheet. That's how we create the scenario. Use the API or the AI chat agent. Just make sure you're in request helper. And of course, let's talk about how much this actually costs. So if I go to my dashboard and we go to usage, and I've actually was using this a lot today before I started talking to you guys, but I can go kind of by date, time. So I don't know what time I started this, but you can see the cost is 0.02, 0.02, 0.02. It doesn't cost anything. I mean, I used this a lot today to test before I made this video, and I've used 6 cents. 6 total cents. I mean 0.62 cents is what I've used today. So once again, extremely cheap. You know, this saves you tons of money based off of trying to use what do you call that? SEMrush or Hrefs. So that is amazing. And if you want, if you don't have a Make account yet, I do want to mention that my link below will actually give you a pro account and 10,000 operations. You can use my DataForSEO link below. It'll start you off with $1, which once again, I just showed you, this just cost me 6 cents. I mean, I rarely spend any money with them. I was really sick these couple of weeks, but you know, I did a ton of testing on this day and spent $1. I mean, that was 25 cents. I mean, pennies, 7 cents, 8 cents. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, and when you need to top up, you put $50 in here, it lasts you forever. I mean, so, and other than that, that was my video. I'll leave a description, a link down below too, where you can download this. I might try to set up to have these sheets for you guys too. So that way you can just already have this set up and then you can just type in your keywords and be done. So if you have any questions, leave a comment. I mean, don't forget to do all the liking, subscribing, and because you know how cool this stuff is. So, all right, guys. Well, you have a good one. I'll see you again.